Hey guys, so today we are going to be breaking down the now Zenkai Awakenable Blue Vegeta, the purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta from the first year anniversary. So we got the Zenkai Awakening for the Blue Goku quite a while ago at this point, and now we've gotten the second sparking, well, I guess technically third because Super Vegeta is Zenkai Awakenable as well, but the next Zenkai Awakenable character from the first year anniversary. So the only ones left from the first anniversary are Golden Frieza and Buhan, both green villain characters. So be interesting to see when they decide to Zenkai Awaken them. I'm particularly actually excited for Buhan. I know you guys thought I'd probably say Frieza, but Regen really, really badly needs help. So if they're going to Zenkai Awaken somebody next, Buhan would be my pick. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at what this Vegeta is going to be doing here. Now, before we even get into this Vegeta obviously was known for his locking ability. He has a 2-time, I think it's 5-timer count lock-in whenever he enters the battlefield. Typically, this game tends to not Zenkai characters that have abilities that lock you in like that. And because of the fact that they decided to go ahead and do that for this Vegeta, I wholly expect this Vegeta to not be that good. Simply because of the fact that he has that 5-second lock-in. And honestly, if we take a look at his kit before we even click the Zenkai button here, it's not that bad, right? He enters the battlefield, he draws a card, he gets 30 key back, he gets strike damage, and he has card draw speed. That's actually pretty good, right? And then his ultimate slow is pretty hard. It destroys, cards in your hand, and then it buffs the damage depending on how many you destroy. His green card is kind of like Zenkai LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku's green card. So he has a solid foundation and a solid core. I think what it's going to come down to is how good is this guy's stats once he's Zenkai'd? And then, well, not counting the Zenkai ability, but are they really going to give this guy meaningful additional unique abilities? I think the answer is probably no. Based off of the, recent, I would say 4 or 5 maybe at this point, Zenkai characters, they really haven't been that impressive at all. So I think my expectations for this Vegeta are pretty low. But we'll go ahead and click the button here and get his stats on the screen. The last thing to mention is his Zenkai ability. He has a lot of tags. He has Saiyans, obviously. He has Vegeta Clan. He has God Key. So any of those are candidates, I think, just because of the fact that this guy really was one of the first characters to introduce the actual God Key tag into the game and make the team an actual usable team. I would expect him to be buffing Purple God Key, but if it's Vegeta Clan, I actually wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't even be upset about it because I think Vegeta Clan, continually getting buffs is a good thing. So let's go ahead and click yes, and oh man, yeah, oh no, these are bad. These stats are pretty bad. So by now you guys should know the way that I like to judge these Zenkai characters in terms of their stats. What I like to see is for a melee or range type character, their main offensive stat, I want to see it in the low to mid 280s. Like mid 280s is where we start seeing characters actually starting to look very good. This guy's barely eclipsing 270. That's not good. And then his blast attack is pretty poor. And then even his defenses, right? I mean, even with like other recent Zenkais that aren't too good, at least their defenses have been pretty solid, like mid 180s. This guy is like low 170s, so I don't even know what they were thinking with these stats, but I guess like I was talking about earlier, right? This guy's stats are really high. I think he has the base kit even prior to his Zenkai Awakening to allow him to be really good. And so it just comes down to them being scared of the lock, I think. So based off of these stats, I really don't expect to see any like mind-blowing unique abilities, but we will see here. Same. So what is this? Major impact damage, 20% of damage inflicted upon activation. Is that the same? They literally not changed that? Oh, it gives him strike. That's it. So it went from strike damage inflicted to just all damage, right? Okay. The green card, I don't expect them to change this just because it's actually still pretty good. Again, it's literally just green Super Saiyan 3 Goku's green card pretty much. Counter activate upon enemy's blast or attack while in fighting pose. Flying effects occur upon counter activation. 20 key, and then 20% impact damage received. Oh, he actually didn't gain key prior to the Zenkai. Okay. I think that's a fair buff, right? Again, this green card didn't really need that much. But the fact that they gave it ki, I think, is really good because, like, think about it this way: you finish a combo with this Vegeta, and you backflip to long range, and you just gain enough ki to barely use this green card, and you actually get it off, and then you can go ahead and chain in like a strike card after this because he gave you 20 ki back. So I think that's actually a fair buff. Like, that's not overly breaking anything, but at least they didn't just do nothing. All right, so the actual ultimate, I don't expect. Oh, did this have blast armor? It did not. Okay, so they actually gave him blast armor on the ultimate. And the funny thing about that, the one thing about that is they didn't give blast armor to the LF blue Vegeta on his ultimate, who's an LF character, but they gave it to this guy instead. Okay. I don't believe the actual numbers changed. 33, 53, 75, 3. Let's just double check that real quick. Yeah, so it's literally the same exact effect, just they give it blast armor. That, again, that is also a fair buff. This did not need that many tunes. Like, they didn't need to tune this up too much. I think they gave it just enough to make it, like, actually good. But the thing with this ultimate is I don't really think you're going to be popping your main ability, like, not in the middle of a combo with this character, so I don't really know how often you're going to be seeing this. Seeing the blast armor, I mean, come into effect, but it's nice to have it on there anyway. Main ability. This is pretty long. You know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this guy's kit up on a separate tab on my PC. And then I'll be able to tell you guys without having to switch back and forth like 900 times what's different here. But this is a pretty long main ability. I don't remember his main ability being this long. All right, let's pull up Vegeta here. Characters. Sorry, it's a bit harder to do this when I'm not in my normal setup. All right, let's see. What does this Vegeta have prior to his Zenkai's main ability? So his main ability draws Ultimate Arts card, inflicts enemies with attribute downgrade, 100% to health restoration for 15 counts. Okay, so it goes from 15 counts to 30 counts. That is good, but the only concern I have with that is that it's only affecting the current enemy. I mean, 100% is a lot, right? Think about the fact that you're fighting all these characters that have so much healing potential now in this meta, right? Blue Kaioken Goku is healing every time he fills up his gauge. Angel Golden Frieza, I mean, he can literally heal the full like 3 times in a fight. All these LoE characters are constantly healing. Right? You have the Revival Frieza healing his whole team whenever he switches. You have Yellow for Power Frieza healing whenever he falls below 6% HP. Vados is still semi-used right now. You have Goku and Vegeta healing a ton, so there's a lot of healing going on in the meta. So the fact that he's basically taking a character and just saying you can no longer heal for 30 counts is a pretty big effect, I think. And then he also gets nullifies enemies' endurance for 30 counts. Yeah, which is obviously still on there. So the new effect on this main ability is he's getting 20 ki, and he's getting 2 arts card draw speed for 3 counts. That's funny. You guys know the reason why that's on there. It's not even for him. It's not even for him to be comboing. I'm pretty sure that's on there so that you can quickly draw like an extra card or two to destroy them for your ultimate. I'm pretty sure that's why that's on there. But overall, I would actually say that this main ability is very good. 20 ki draws the ultimate, 100% health restoration down, and 30 timer counts of endurance nullification. Kind of reminds me of like Red Merge Zamasu a little bit with the 30 counts to endurance nullification on there. That's pretty good. All right, so Z ability we already know is for God Ki. Now Zenkai ability, I think my pick would have to be for God Ki, but I would not be upset, I guess, if it was for Vegeta Clan. It is God Ki, okay. Yeah, all the mono purple mains are rejoicing that this is for purple God Ki. That's fine. I don't really care. All right, so let's take a look at his unique abilities here. So this one. Strike card next, 30 ki, that's the same. So the strike goes from 40% to 50%. So the only buff he's getting from this first unique abilities is his strike damage is going from 40 to 50%. Alright, it's pretty minimal. Next one, shortens on some count by 2 as a default. Was that on there already? Yes, it was. So that was already on there. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield, inflicts all enemies with no switching for 5 timer counts, activates twice. I'm so happy they didn't touch this. I was I didn't think they would do this, but I was kind of scared they were going to change that from activates twice to activates 3 times. I was about to just like not play PvP this season. And then inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 10 to strike art's cost for 10 counts. That is a new effect. That was not part of the pre-Zenkai unique ability there. So that is, it's not like great, but it's a nice addition to have there. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at the new unique abilities. Now, for the past like 2-3 Zenkai, maybe even like 5 or something like that, these new 2 unique abilities have been absolutely terrible. So I would not be surprised if these unique abilities like literally didn't do anything. So let's go ahead and see. So warrior clad in divine power. The following effects occur according to the number of temper counts elapsed with current character. 5 counts elapsed, he restores his own ki by 30. That is actually not too bad because of the fact that this guy innately has card draw speed. So you're going to be comboing for a decent amount of time. And then on top of the fact that he's getting 30 ki from this, he's also getting ki from some ability, right? Ability gives him 20 ki, so I feel like that's not a terrible thing. 10 counts elapsed, shortens allies subcount by 2. That might be one of the most niche abilities I've ever seen. Because think about it logically, right? You've had to be on the battlefield with this character for 10 counts to then activate this effect. If you guys weren't aware, the normal innate switch timer for a normal character that switches out is 10 counts. So you wait 10 counts to be able to reduce ally subcount by 2 counts, but 99% of the time, their subcount is going to be already 0. The only time this is useful is if the switch timers on your allies on standby were manipulated. And they can be manipulated by, like, the first one that comes to mind is, like, I think, like, LF Super Saiyan 4's green card actually, like, extends the period in which you have to be switched out for. I know Green Future Gohan's green card does that as well. I think, like, there's some characters, like I think it's, what is it, like, Heat Dome Trunks or something like that that increases subcount as green. Like, some weird, very, very niche effects that do that. But that is, like, one of the possibly worst effects I've ever seen on a unique ability. You know what this is like? This is like saying, when you reach 100 ki, gain 20 ki. Because it literally is meaningless. I mean, again, this is not actually meaningless, but 99% of the time, this will not actually benefit you in any way. So, again, typical standard, like, Zenkai unique ability that we've seen recently. Restores own health by 25% if own remaining health is 50% or below after enemy attack is over. Activates once. That is not great, but the fact that this can activate off of like tap attacks or tap blasts actually makes it okay. I would have liked to seen this be activated twice. I think that would have made it way better, but it's not terrible. Overall, this is a pretty bad unique ability. This is not good at all. Okay, full forced attack is the last unique ability here. 20% damage inflicted against tag Lineage of Evil cannot be cancelled. Applies the following effects itself when battle starts. 20% of damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Reduces damage received by 15%. 15%. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this guy's going to get absolutely incinerated defensively. This guy has 0 defense. And it's not like even a normal Zenkai situation where it's like, oh, their defensive stats are so high that even though they don't have a lot of damage reduction in their unique abilities, they're going to be fine defensively. This guy's defensive stats are pretty poor, like 173,000 to both defenses on a fully soul boosted Zenkai character is bad. No matter what your role is, like this is a melee type character, offensively based character. It doesn't matter. These are bad stats defensively. And the fact that he's the only defensive utility he's getting in his kit, in terms of like actually mitigating damage, is 15% damage reduction. That is not that's like 50% too low, or something. when you take into consideration how offensively crazy the meta is. You think this guy's going to fare well against Blue Kaioken Goku? Blue Kaioken Goku is going to tap attack this guy for 10% of his HP. But in terms of damage, I mean, he's getting, what, 70% to strike damage inflicted if you add this with his first unique ability. So, you know, that in combination with the lock could be pretty good, and then you pop your main ability and you ult somebody, and, like, you know, maybe you kill them in one combo. It's hard to say. Overall, I'm not really that impressed with this Vegeta. Again, wasn't really going to expect much from him just because of the fact that he has a lock-in innately, and they've historically been very scared to, you know, screw with that stuff. So overall, I'm not really going to be too hopeful for his showcase, but maybe we'll have him do some good stuff. I mean, with the lock-in, he definitely could be okay. So we'll see. Anything else in this update? Let's quickly go through new equipment. I think there was a few new ones over here. I go to archive. Let's check. So we just scroll through. There's this one over here, which I believe. Oh, actually, no, I didn't even look at this yet. I don't. Any day now, game. You want to load? Thanks. All right, so this is Confident Goku. Slot 1 and 2 are both a choice between both offenses, so Strike and Blast. And then slot 3 is HP, and it's for just Saiyans. For an equipment that's such, like, you can use on so many different characters, I actually do like this because of the fact that it has HP, right? Anytime an equipment has HP, it's definitely useful in some way. It's okay. I mean, if you're using like a strike-based character, like for example, you're using this Zenkai Purple Vegeta that just came out, you can slap on this equipment, have a max of 25% strike attack and then 10% HP. That's not bad. I mean, there's definitely better options, but this is a good like middle ground, I guess. And I assume this is through. I'm not sure. This might be actually next PvP reset. Maybe they're getting ready. I don't know. Do not know. And then the other, I think there's an Awaken equipment here that's new. Let's see. Yep, there's this one. This is Awakened Equipment Vegeta's Anger #1. So this is for Vegeta, melee or range type. So support or defense type Vegetas cannot use this. But this is a fairly recent equipment. Like, it's not brand new, but it's not old at all. So it gives 20% strike in the first slot. Second slot is 10% strike and 10% special move. And then third slot is 28% to blast attack. That is just pure offensive damage. Now, the reason why I'm not really a giant fan of this equipment, it's not bad. Definitely not bad. In fact, I think a good character to use this with would be the LF Green Vegeta. But the reason why I'm not such a big fan of this is because typically characters these days, you want to build either focus on strike or blast. And because this is sort of partitioned into, you know, having both on there and not specialized into one of the two, you can't really make like really good use of this. But that Green Vegeta in some team building instances does have good setups for both strike and blast that you can mix and match with him. So I feel like this could be a good option for him. But typically, I don't know. There's a lot of damage on here, right? I mean, 30% strike and 10% special move damage is already pretty good, and then you just give an extra 28% to blast attack, like just for whatever reason. Yeah, I'll take that. And then the last thing I wanted to quickly, let me just check. There's nothing else in here, right? Yeah, I think that's fine. The last thing I wanted to check real quick is just some few updates in terms of like the news here. So it looks like, oops, I don't know why that went off. Sorry. So the Zenkai bonus battle looks like you can challenge the event up to 3 times a day. If you guys are, you know, have been struggling recently for Zenkai Souls, definitely go ahead and do that. It's probably just skippable. You can probably just skip it in 2 seconds every day. It takes like 2 seconds. You can now exchange your soul medals for more Rising and Zenkai Souls, which is good. So I've actually been stockpiling and hoarding these. I didn't know this was coming out. I've just been, I haven't needed to exchange them at all, so I figured why not just save them just in case, and they actually did end up buffing them, so I'm glad I did that. There's missions where you can obtain Rising Souls, Super Souls, been added to Star Touch missions. Yep. There's this new banner out here. There's missions where you can obtain Let's Go Legends Limited Guaranteed Summon tickets. You can play a ticket summon where powerful Legends Limited characters are guaranteed to appear. Legends Welcome Summon updated for new players. They added Broly and Gogeta to the ticket shop. Oh boy, thanks. Appreciate it. New titles added. There's different training adjustments, which is fine. Equipment to the main story. They increased the amount of Zenny you can get from exchanging the gold bars, which is nice. Just the easier way to get Zenny. This I'm very, very thankful for. They increased the maximum limit you can hold for skip tickets to 99, basically to 100,000. So I don't think you'll ever reach that number. So you don't have to worry about like skip tickets flooding your gift box again if you're capped, which I have been multiple times. Then they're increasing the platinum coin cap to 10, and then the soul metal cap to 200, which is nice. And then they're also doing these other changes later on, I assume during the anniversary, but maybe earlier. So that is it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and record the actual showcase for the ZENKAI Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Let me know down below what you guys think about this Vegeta ZENKAI as well as the update in general. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one.